Funding for This is Nashville comes from you, our listeners, and Music City Prep Clinic, Nashville-based provider for PrEP and offering comprehensive sexual health services in an environment designed to be safe, professional, and shame-free. Learn more at musiccityprep.org.
I'm Khalil A. Colonna, and this is Nashville. On Saturday, February 10th, the Lunar New Year begins. Many of you may know it as the Chinese New Year. It's a time of reflection of the previous year and anticipation for the good fortune that is to come in this next year. All across Nashville and parts of Middle Tennessee, groups are planning to welcome in the Year of the Dragon in style. Traditional dances, music, storytelling, food, and fun will be taking place. And the best part, anyone who wants to participate can. So what is the Chinese New Year about? What is your zodiac sign and what does it symbolize? What can we expect from the Year of the Dragon? Joining me now are Jen Lin, Director of the Chinese Arts Alliance Nashville, and Sherry Wong, who sits on the board of the Arts Alliance. Jen, Sherry, thanks for being here. Welcome to This is Nashville.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us.
Really, it's just a pleasure to have you here. So I want to start off by talking about the Lunar New Year. It's the Year of the Dragon. Jen, in the Chinese zodiac, what does the dragon represent?
Dragon is a very significant Chinese zodiac animal. It symbolizes power, wealth, strength, and royal, and all the good things, good character. Everybody wants to be born on the Year of the Dragon. Dragon means success.
Okay. Success and power. Now, I from what I understand, in Chinese culture, only the emperor was allowed to wear the symbol of the dragon. Is that right, Sherry?
That's correct. Through all the dynasties, the emperors, the symbol of emperor, his yellow robe there has dragon sign there. That's why it's power, because it representing the power.
Okay, so this year, the dragon, power, wealth, success. That sounds good for everybody, I think. Feels like it to me. So what are some of the stories or folk tales about the dragon that are told?
Dragon is among 12 zodiac animals. This is the only animal is legendary. We never really seen it. It's all in our imagination or history and culture. And dragon is supposed to control water. And you can think when during the ancient time, it's based on agriculture. And water supply is very important. You do not want to have too much water become a flood. And you do not want to have too little water become a drought. So in that sense, dragon control a lot of our lives.
And you mentioned that there's 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac. I do want to get to those a little bit later, but correct me if I'm wrong. There's elements are very important as well. And there's 5 elements, and let me know if I have these right. Metal, water, wood, fire, air.
Earth.
And earth.
5.
I get those right.
Okay.
Is there a particular order that they go in?
I don't think so. I think 5 are equally important to keep it balanced.
So what do the elements represent? Sherry?
Sherry got this question. Metal. Being metal. So if you are the metal dragon, 5 different, really is in the universe, the earth thing is, let me repeat. I have to say in Chinese, 金木水火土. Jin, gold or metal. Mu, wood. 水, water. 火, fire. 土 is earth. And that 5 different times 12 different zodiac make every 60 years a cycle of our zodiac. So you say you're dragon, but what dragon you are? You're a fire dragon. You're water dragon. Yes, in the water more, like Jen said. And you are earth dragon. et cetera, et cetera. So it's really fun, complicated, but different things in the universe. 金木水火土. That's all the 5 things, elements of our world.
And this year is the year of the wooden dragon. It sounds
Correct.
very, very auspicious and powerful. Are there things we should be cautious about entering this year of power?
Well, I think we need to ride on the good luck of the dragon, and dragon is symbolize everything should go smoothly. I cannot say that right now, but quote unquote, we want to have very good year. We want to say goodbye to all those pandemic, all those interruption, and we hope this coming year will be a smooth one.
Yeah, let me add. I think my add, yes, from you may call that superstitious or what from some true some year, some animals, and with a different signs there is, for instance, fire. Perhaps for certain animals, you got 12 different animals there, so maybe a bit more conflict. So be cautious. That's why we always will call. Well, look at all those right up there. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But you make a decision. Be cautious on things. If it's a year should not travel too much, maybe try to be careful when you drive behind the wheel. So
if this were like
about
the year
this superstitious thing is complicated, but if it doesn't go your way, you said this is an anything thing. It goes with your desire. You say, I'm a modern person. We don't believe in this.
Correct. So just you cope with it. You understand. You be cautious.
Yes.
Prevent that
Always
from happening.
good to be cautious. Yeah.
So if this were the year of the fire dragon, given that it's an election year coming up, there's things we should be cautious about. But a wooden dragon, a little bit less caution we should throw out there.
Yeah, wooden dragon, I think what I read so far is okay. I think
so that's just wish for the best.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, so I want to talk about the other zodiac signs. 12, as we previously mentioned, they come around every 12 years. And the Chinese zodiac is very different from the Western zodiac because it characterizes people by their birth year and not their birth month or date. For example, I and everyone else born in 1973, we fall under the ox zodiac sign.
I think you're stubborn.
Stubborn? I mean,
hard worker.
Okay, I like that. I'll be that. Look, I'm not going to say that I have not been stubborn before in my life. A lot of friends and family will attest to that. But for us born in 73, we fall under the water element in our sign. So I am a water ox. Which
is a very good. Water ox and water 水牛. It's really hard working.
Water buffalo.
Water buffalo. It used to be old way of plant rice is water buffalo pull.
It's a good friend of human.
Right. And so it's considered as the friendly, family animals in that regard.
Okay. Okay.
That's good, yeah.
That's really good. All right. Props to myself and everyone else born in 1973. Now, the animals, they have certain characteristics. And it's believed that people are born under a given year. They take on that personality of that year's animal. In your experience, do you all find that to be accurate?
Well, in my own household, my mom and my brother all born in year of tigers. And year of tigers, sometimes they need to avoid certain situation. People do not want people who born in the years of tiger come to certain situation to present a little bit feisty kind of element to the situation. So they have to be keep away.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other thing is in our belief, certain year of the people should be married to certain years of the zodiac person so they can have a harmonious marriage. So 2 tigers should not get married.
There'd be a lot of fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's a superstitious way, always ancient way was you got to have a compatibility. So when the man and woman, before they
Yes.
get married, family will look at what kind of animal men's and women's are.
Okay.
So make sure it's compatible in
Exactly.
harmony.
That makes sense. I mean, I know that you both have mentioned that there's superstitions that are given to it, but it's also has deep cultural roots in how people have formed their families and led their lives. I just like to get a little bit deeper into that because sometimes, particularly introducing it to a new audience or people who may have a little cursory knowledge of it, they look at it and they think, oh, that's quaint and that's cute, and they put it to the side. But this has real meaning in cultures and families, right?
Yeah, we take that into references. But if you're really deeply in love with somebody, tiger to tiger, they'll make how do we they will make peace with them themselves. I won't just deter people who love each other. They are both born in year of the tiger. They should not get married. I don't say that. They may find another way to consolidate or compromise or some way to make it work. Yeah.
Perhaps I can describe it by, in the very, very early ancient ways, truly, before science and the knowledge of that become pretty, we're pretty, understand a lot of stuff. And ancient ways, very strong. But I think in modern era, people tends to be less believe that because let me sort of saying dragon is the animal supposed to be that year you were born dragon, you're much smarter, you're better on that. But I don't think statistically there's any evidence there says that way.
Okay.
But, kind of because it's symbolize emperor power and all that. So take that as what we say the compatibility. Because the reason I say, since I'm talking about a story, I do remember vividly they are couples because family did not agree with their birth compatibility deal.
And the zodiac animals.
Yeah, zodiac stuff. And it was tragic because they... But, so anything when you out of above and beyond interpret that become lethal in a way. So I think let's just take it with evaluate that thing and look at the compatibility of the personality, etc. Other signs comes in, other area come in. Totally depend on this zodiac thing. I think it can be misleading and also very scary.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
But it's also fun to look into search for what kind of characteristic you are. Like some people lose on their controlling their money, then you have to be cautious. You're born in that year or something like that. And then...
So it's good to take it under consideration.
Yes, right. I think so.
But it's not necessarily dogma.
Also, yes, absolutely dogma. That's the word.
Okay, go ahead.
Adding one more part while I remember, it is, you say you're a dragon, but still that is which year, okay? Which month you were born in that year.
Okay.
You'll go, even if you are the water dragon, but you're January born and February born until December born, based on lunar calendar. And also the hours you were born.
Okay.
It's very complicated.
That's a whole nother...
So I don't even want to say, because only what they call those kind of 命理师, those people
very
with a specialties on that thing can figure out. It's very important. Time, month, days, etc. So it's just AM and the PM may have differences on things. So I don't consider that as a superstitious, but it's a lot of things built into it. So we need to be not to be misinterpreted.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of the signs. We start off with the rat. The rats are quick-witted, resourceful, and versatile and kind. Do any other traits come with the rat?
Choice of what?
Rat.
The rat.
Rat also smart too.
Mm-hmm. Small because it can smart. That's one story
observe
was
the situation and they can adapt to it.
One legend kid story. It was like rat so smart, putting number one because they're small, flexible, and when the ox is trying to across the river, the ox he knows to jump on the ox back. So when ox walk over, then he jump down. So
Okay.
he's the quickest one.
That's why red is the number one,
Number one.
because he's
Fast.
smart.
Okay. And then we go to the ox. As you all said, they're dependable, strong, determined, and diligent. Does Goofy fit in there? Because I'm definitely Goofy.
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 I think they are the strange.
They're not silly at all.
No, serious. I mean,
They are
the
very
dog.
serious,
But I think
yeah.
that's acquired rather than the culture later on when the personality.
Maybe you're
rise.
born at different hours that make the difference.
Again, yeah, you're right. Maybe different hours. You're born early in the morning or midnight, something.
Yeah, I was born at midnight,
Midnight.
12:23. Okay, there it is.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so next we have the mighty tiger. What are the characteristics of the tiger?
As tiger is very strong, powerful, and feisty. I mentioned before.
Brave.
Brave and courageous. Yes.
Okay. Next.
I only see the good, positive side. I try not to see the negative side.
We're going to talk about the positive sides today. Everybody, if they want to learn the negative sides, they can Google it themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is the rabbit, which I've understood is quiet, elegant, kind, and responsible. Is there anything else
And
you
then
want to
maybe quiet, but actually they are very resourceful. Yes.
Okay. And we move on to the mighty dragon. As you all said, is confident, intelligent, and enthusiastic. Is there a boost for anyone? Say you are a wood dragon, and this is the year of the wood dragon. Is there anything special you should be paying attention to?
Well, that's your year, So,
Okay.
But we Chinese
Definitely need to
use-
come and celebrate.
definitely come to celebrate. But what we call 本命年, it is your animal, your
That's-
year.
This is your year.
Yeah, this is your year. So some theory think you either extremely lucky, you're extremely need to be cautious
Okay.
because you're the big guy.
All right. And after the dragon, we've got the snake, and they're known as being enigmatic, intelligent, and wise. Is trustworthiness one of their traits?
It's not trustworthy.
Actually, maybe I have different thought than
Okay, go ahead,
my
Sherry.
understanding. It is we normally call snake little dragon
Ah.
because there's no such thing as a dragon. So you have a little dragon there. So it should carry the some of the trait the dragon has, flexible and all that. I think snake also get the sometimes bad meaning because Western culture has
Yes.
different, like snake, sneaky, all that. But it's always there's always some saying that two snakes in a family make that family very prosperous.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, our senior producer, Tasha A.F. Lemley, is a snake, and she's very, very happy about all the claims you all have given. Now, after that, we go to the goat, who is calm and gentle and sympathetic. Is that accurate?
I agree.
Yeah.
And then next, we have the monkey. Monkeys are sharp, smart, full of curiosity. Anything you'd all like to add?
My daughter is born. One of my daughters born the monkey, and very smart. Yeah.
And then we have the observant, hardworking, and courageous rooster.
Rooster, yeah.
That's a good one.
They're keeping time.
Very good at keeping time. And I'm sure I think a lot of people will agree with the dog's characteristics of being
Very
like
homey, very protective of, very family oriented.
and honest and prudent and
Yeah,
whatnot.
very good trait.
And then lastly, we have the pig, which is compassionate and generous and diligent. Sherry, you're a pig?
I'm big. So
You know,
what do you think, Jen?
A pig is smart, and also people have misunderstanding about pig. So actually, pig love to be clean, not as people think they are like filthy on the pig pan, but it's not like that. A pig actually very intelligent.
But since I'm pig is the last one on the all 12 zodiac, right?
Yes.
So it's not like smart, flexible, or jumping around like the rat. But we're sort laid back more. That's the last one anymore. And it's a it's a family, pig. You eat the food that's pork and all that those things. So it tends to be, because my classmate, we are all, when we're in the class together, we're similar year, we all seems to be more laid back, not really too strong, too hard-headed on something. But my children will tell you that. So, like you said, I'm kind of...
Hey, Khalil, you forgot the horse.
The horse, I did. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, horse. Yes.
Yes, horse. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Horse is after the snake. Now, the horses are they like animated and energetic and active?
And elegant.
Elegant, yes.
You can picture how horse is. So you see, animal, zodiac animal is very similar to the real animal's character, except the dragon. Nobody's seen that before.
And compatibility is something I looked it up, and I'm compatible with a rat, a snake, and a rooster, but I may have time with a sheep, a horse, or a dog.
Yeah, so...
Because your domestic animal, dogs, ox, and all that are the house tends to live around the household.
We need to have an Asian study professor here to look into all these.
Right.
It's complicated.
Yeah. It is super complicated, but we're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to learn about what the Chinese Arts Alliance has in store for this year's celebration for the Year of the Wood Dragon. We'll be right back.
Funding for This is Nashville comes from you, our listeners, and Music City Prep Clinic, Nashville-based provider for PrEP and offering comprehensive sexual health services in an environment designed to be safe, professional, and shame-free. Learn more at musiccityprep.org.
I'm Khalil Colonna, and this is Nashville. The Year of the Wood Dragon is almost upon us. It starts on February 10th, but organizations and groups all over the city have been planning for this celebration for a long while now. What can you expect when you head out to one of the celebrations? What is to come? What are some of the customs and traditions, and why is it all so meaningful? My guests today are from the Chinese Arts Alliance Nashville, or CAA. I'm with Jen Lin, the director, and Sherry Wong. She's a board member. I'd also like to introduce Annabelle Chapman, who not only helps coordinate events for CAA, she's also a dancer. Annabelle, thanks so much for being here. Welcome to This is Nashville.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Let me ask you, what's your zodiac sign?
I am a metal rooster.
A metal rooster, so we automatically are going to get along great. How does it feel to be a metal rooster?
It feels good. So you just were talking about the general elements and characteristics of each of the animals, and roosters are known to be sharp, very diligent, very hardworking. I'd like to think that I align with all of those values. But they're also known to be aggressive and sometimes mean or short-sighted. So something to be aware of in my daily practice and going about relationships.
I think that's something we all can be aware of, but I love it. How excited are you for the Lunar New Year this year?
I'm extremely excited. So as was already mentioned, the Year of the Dragon is an extremely auspicious and powerful year. For most animals in the zodiac, but in general, the dragon is seen as the most auspicious, and so I'm looking forward to this new Lunar New Year as kind of a year to come into my own power and to kind of really have a new beginning and look forward to all of the positive things that it brings.
Now, tell me, do you have any memories from your childhood that are fond and close to you about celebrating the Lunar New Year?
I have some. So I am a American-born Taiwanese American. So I'm second generation. My parents immigrated over from Taiwan in the 70s, and I was born in New York. So for me, our Chinese New Year celebrations at home were pretty simple. It would involve a lot of food, a lot of homemade dumplings and noodles. And then the most exciting part as a child is if you are a child, then all of your relatives that are married then get to give you a red envelope. So the red envelope is contains money. And so that's something that's auspicious and something that I think every recipient looks forward to. So that's something that sticks out to me.
Yeah, Jen and Sherry, what about you? Do you all have memories of childhood from celebrating the Lunar New Year?
Of course, and then Chinese New Year is a time when we all wear new clothes and to celebrate a new beginning. And you have to sweep the floor before the New Year start, because after the New Year start, you don't sweep the floor because you're going to sweep the good luck away. So you don't want that. And then as a child, we wear new clothes, but particularly very excited to go to door to all my relatives to say 恭喜恭喜, because we say congratulations to all the relatives who are senior than me. They gave me red envelope.
You get
Filled with the money.
Filled with.
And then I come home and open. Oh, sorry, I got this. And my mother say, I keep it for you. I save it for you.
Sherry, did something similar happen to you?
All of those. But most, I love food. So New Year's time, you eat dumplings. You eat all this great food. That's a time to enjoy good food, the feast.
And there's
all the way
some
from
special
food.
dish we need to eat, right?
Right.
Sherry, like fish means a surplus because you say 年年有余. That is a synonym. 鱼 and 鱼 is the same meaning. Fish and surplus.
And chicken.
And chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to eat certain chicken means a good beginning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so the food, all kinds of food.
And noodle, as Annabelle mentioned, you
Mm-hmm.
don't cut the noodle because the noodle, as long as possible, that means longevity.
Okay, so you eat a bowl that's essentially one huge long noodle?
No. When you pick up the noodle, you have to, don't cut it. You're going to slug in. This is Chinese way. Go.
Okay.
Yeah, in Western society, that is very impolite. But if you follow Chinese culture, that means, the food is so good.
Okay, I love it. Now, you all mentioned red. That's a significant color. Annabelle, why is it so significant?
It is a significant color. So there is an ancient Chinese myth about a monster, and they call the monster Nian. And this monster was coming to the villages, and the villagers were trying to find ways to thwart this monster from entering the villages. And so they would pick up whatever that they could find to make loud noises, banging noises. And they also believe that wearing the color red would then thwart this monster and scare him away. And so that is how red became to be a very auspicious and color associated with good luck.
And I can imagine that the banging and the loud noises represents the drums that are being played during the celebration.
Yeah, because the noise scared that monster away, other than red and firecracker as well. Right. And then during the Chinese New Year event, we encourage people to wear red.
Okay.
For the same reason, for a good luck color.
Now, I know that dancing is a big part of the celebrations. And Jen, from what everyone has told me, you are the dance master here in Nashville and Middle Tennessee. Talk to me about some of the dances that are coming up during the celebration for the New Year.
Of course, we have a traditional lion dance and dragon dance. And lion dance is made out of two people, a team, one in the front, one in the back. And the entire performers are covered. You cannot see the performer. While dragon dance is made up of more than 10 people, they hold a post, but the person who hold the prop can be seen. And a lot of time people confuse dragon dance with lion dance. When they say dragon, I have to show them picture. Do you mean this dragon or the lion? Oh, they say, I mean the lion. Okay, that's a lion. It's different. So for Chinese people, dragon dance and lion dance are two different things. But somehow in Americans' mind, they all think dragon dance means lion dance, but it's not, because it's harder to see a dragon dance because our prop is 60 feet long. Wow. And it's hard to get 10 people synchronized to do the dance. So that's why dragon dance is harder to sing. And unless you're in New York City or San Francisco, everybody missed the middle. So we are here for the South.
Okay. You taught a lot of people here in Nashville the dances. You hold a Master's of Fine Arts at Dance at the University of Illinois.
Yes.
When did you first learn these dances?
Okay, I'm trained in Taiwan, and actually, I start as ice dancing, ice skating, and I wasn't so graceful. I put into the dance class, but I stuck in the dance instead of ice skate. And the dance I have contemporary dance training and Chinese dance, and later on I was a teacher at the traveling group for Chinese dances. And so that I had packed all that skill in one, and then I come to the United States to learn contemporary dance, modern dance. So in some way, all my dance is a combination of East and West, with strongly inspired by the Chinese elements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Annabelle, you're a dancer. When did you learn the dances?
As far as Chinese dancing goes,
Yes.
I started learning when I met Jen and started volunteering for Chinese Arts Alliance of Nashville back in 2007.
Is she a tough instructor?
She is. She can be a tough instructor, but it's only because she has very high expectations of her participants.
Okay. Are the dances, are they hard to learn?
They can be, yes. I think depending on the dance, there's a lot of different factors. If there's a classical Chinese dance piece, there's a lot of different technique that is different from Western dance technique. For example, in Western dance, a lot of the movements kind of lead with being on the toes of your feet or using the ball of your feet more. And in traditional Chinese dance, it's a little bit more grounded, where you're doing a lot of heel-toe movements. And then for some of the other, pieces, you also have to coordinate a different speed between your legs, which may be moving very quickly across the stage, and then your arms may be doing something very different, maybe much slower, and you're kind of having to look like you're floating.
Wow. That sounds really graceful. And also it sounds incredibly difficult.
Yes, a lot of different coordination. And then the music is another element, depending if you've heard traditional or classical and folk Chinese music, it can be a very different tempo and kind of a musical rhythm. And so learning to listen for all the different cues in Chinese music is also a challenge.
Now, Sherry, one of this year's events is happening at Musicians Corner in Centennial Park. That's on February 10th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tell us, what can people expect when they show up this year?
There will be a lot of, we add a lot of activity for families. So we want people with all ages to be able to enjoy everything. And I got the feedback when we are doing the performance. Some of the young kids cannot sit still. So we keep the activity going. So there are things simultaneously happen. And we have invited public libraries, puppet truck, and then our own Chinese Arts Alliance is going to present a puppet and dance combination to present a Chinese folk story called Mouse Bride. Mouse getting married on January 3rd. Everybody go to bed early because the mouse is getting married. It's busy. So we present that story. On top of that, one more thing very exciting is I have invited a Grammy Award winner, musician whose name is Abigail Washburn will be there. I'm super excited about that. And the virtuoso musician Wu Fei will be there as well. So other than our Chinese dance and music, we also have they are international? No, but they are locally. They live here in Nashville. I'm so glad they come to support us for this event.
You guys are doing a lot of collaborating with other organizations. You're working with the Nashville Symphony as well, and you're also holding events at Plaza Mariachi. Sherry, talk to me about working with other groups in the city and how that helps to share Chinese culture and its impact here.
Shenzhen is very involved with all the different groups. What I think I really like is each year I've been going through that she show many years, but each year you always come out with something. She did that new stuff this year, so always that's Shenzhen. Always very not the same thing all over again. Also, she has one year, especially last year, like it is you got the MLK's kids sing Chinese song over there. Martin Luther King's has sing the Chinese song with different high school around the community. So she works with different school kids and partners.
I forgot that part. Thank you for mentioning that, Sherry. We invite, because I know a lot of people are learning Chinese language in different school, and then they may miss out the culture part. And this is a time for them to see the lion dance, the dragon dance, the Chinese dance. So we invite students who are learning Chinese language to come to the event to present what they learn. So give them a little bit incentive to practice more. And this year we have MLK, Academic Magnet School kids, and then also have Belmont University Chinese Language Program, and Nashville Chinese School kids will be there as well.
That's really awesome.
So
reach out. Her program reach out to different.
What that means is people who present all this program, they are non-Chinese, but they are going to speak or sing Chinese songs.
Annabelle, tell me about that. How does it feel to be able to show the diversity of Chinese culture to folks here in Nashville?
I think it's amazing. I think for, Jen just mentioned Nashville Chinese School, which is a nonprofit Saturday morning program for anybody who wants to learn Mandarin Chinese. My son is within that school. It's important that they get to experience, as Jen mentioned, the cultural aspect of what it means to be Chinese, or just to appreciate Chinese culture. And so what I love about being a part of Chinese Arts Alliance of Nashville is that it's a celebration of what Chinese culture and performing arts is, irregardless of your national affiliation or whether or not you have Chinese heritage as part of your lineage or ancestry. And so we have, people who support the organization and are part of the organization who may or may not have Chinese ancestry or partial. And, that is an incredibly wide diaspora of Chinese people. You have Chinese Americans, you have Chinese from Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, Brazil, Hawaii. So, I think to see all of that meld into a community that we've been able to create here in Nashville, and to share what Chinese heritage and culture means to us. And there are so many different cultural assets with that, from the lion dancing to drumming to traditional and folk dancing. All of those things are things that we get to celebrate and to educate the Nashville community on.
Mm-hmm. Jen.
Yes, I always feel. See, I'm an immigrant, Chinese American, Taiwanese Chinese American, and my background right now is East and West combined. And I also believe that people here in America who travel to China, Asian with the Chinese experience, they feel partially. They already it's contagious. So they already feel partially Chinese because they have Chinese experience. I met a lot of people who live in Hong Kong, for example, 5 years China, 10 years Taiwan, maybe 1 month so study Chinese over there. Malaysian, my ancestor from China, but I'm Malaysian, and Singapore Chinese too. We want to share all this together in one event. And then another thing is for people who are so curious about Chinese and never have a chance to visit Asia, this is a chance, the window to see the Chinese culture.
Jen Lin is the director of the Chinese Arts Alliance. They're kicking off their celebration of the Lunar New Year on February 10th. Jen, thank you so much for being with us today. And let me see if I get this right. Gong Si Fat Sai.
Perfect.
Good.
Awesome.
good.
Awesome. Sherry Wong and Annabelle Chapman will stick with us through the break. When we come back, we'll talk more about how celebrating the Chinese New Year adds to the diversity of cultures we have here in Middle Tennessee. And we'll learn how the next generation is taking on the tradition of the Lunar New Year. You can join the conversation by tweeting us at This Is Nashville. We'll be right back. I'm Khalil Colonna, and this is Nashville. We are talking about the Lunar New Year. Let me say to you all, Gong Si Fat Sai, which means I wish you to enlarge your wealth. It's a greeting shared for the Lunar New Year, which is about health, wealth, good fortune, and family. This year, the wood dragon prevails. You can check out your zodiac animal and element to see what this year has in store for you. Now, before the break, we were talking with members of the Chinese Arts Alliance Nashville who are throwing events for the Year of the Dragon. Now, these events are a vehicle for Nashvillians and Middle Tennesseans to learn more about Chinese culture. The celebration of the New Year includes all generations. Now, my next guest is a part of the younger generation and has embraced embraced sharing her culture with others. Ann Oppenheimer is a dancer and performer with the Chinese Arts Alliance of Nashville. I'd like to welcome her to the show. Ann, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. So how did you first get involved with the Chinese Arts Alliance?
It's a long story. I grew up here in Nashville, and being a Chinese adoptee, actually, my parents were looking for opportunities for me to learn Chinese and also be immersed in the culture when I was younger. So I joined the Nashville Chinese School when I was about 6 years old, and that's actually where I first met Jen Jen. She was teaching Chinese dance classes, and over time, our relationship developed. I'm also good friends with her two daughters, danced with them for a little while, danced with one of them now. So I did a lot of Chinese dance with Jen Jen, and then as I got a little bit older, I was able to join the Chinese lion dance team.
How does it feel when you're out there dancing?
Amazing. It's so exciting to see. I'm usually the head, so I can see a little bit when I do Chinese lion dance of the audience, but they're all so excited to see us perform. It's really a great way to show, my cultural background, to get to know some really good people. I think that the people on the Chinese lion dance team, we're all really close and we all get to know each other. We all work as a team to make sure the performances go as smoothly as possible. And then the applause that you hear when you take the costume off at the end of the performance is always very rewarding.
Now, you're the head of the lion. Is holding the head, is that heavy?
It can be. It's not super heavy if you're just holding it, but dancing around with it, it can be really tiring. But one of the things that we always say on the Chinese lion dance team is boulé. So it means we're not tired. No matter how much we have practiced, no matter how many times we've performed, we're never tired.
Is it a special honor to be the head?
It really is. I mean, it's a team effort, the head and the tail. I actually have been training in both, so I can do the head and I can do the tail. It is really fun being the tail and being the head. It's a team effort, though, so without one or the other, then you can't have a beautiful lion dance performance.
Okay. Now, I forgot to ask you this. What's your zodiac sign?
Oh, I'm a wood dog.
A wood dog. Accurate?
Yes. Dogs are known to be loyal, kind, to really care about their relationships with people, and I think that's something that really personifies who I am.
Now, you grew up here in Nashville.
Yes, I did.
I understand you lived in China for 4 years.
I did. I lived in Shanghai from 2016 to 2020.
What was that experience like for you?
Amazing. I mean, I missed Nashville a little bit. I wasn't able, to be with the Chinese Arts Alliance of Nashville and the community that I have here, but it was really a great moment for me to go and live in the country that I was born in and kind of explore what it means to be like an everyday person living in China. I was able to work on my Chinese language skills, which was always really helpful. And then I was working in education consulting, so I was helping students apply to U.S. schools, and then that has transitioned or helped me transition into my current role as an admissions officer.
Okay. Now, Annabelle Chapman and Sherry Wong are still with us. And all three of you represent three different generations of Chinese Nashvillians who've taken a part in sharing your culture with others. Sherry, how does that make you feel?
Feel good. That's why I'm a permanent board member for Chen Chen for this many years until she kicked me out. But so it's really nice to watch the Chinese art alliances in Nashville grow over this time and reach out to the folks and share the culture through using the arts. And like for instance, little Annie was first met Annie when she was a toddler, and then she just stayed with training hard. Line dance is not easy from me, being not a line dancer. So you all need to go see any dance disciplined, very disciplined, and very through the training dance, share the cultural training by Zhen. We all get, you get very matured. And the young lady now, and Annabelle, same thing after college. I met her first as a college graduate. So very happy, pleased that Zhen do things like that. So that's why I will do my best to support. Not a dancer, but yet I'll support.
Okay. Nashville is a city that if people don't live here, they may not recognize how diverse this city actually is. And a lot of times when we talk about different cultures, but we talk about it from a political perspective, Annabelle, tell me, how do organizations like the Chinese Arts Alliance and this celebration of the Lunar New Year, how does it help us kind of go beyond politics and understand the actual culture of a people rather than the governmental system of a people?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And so, our nonprofit, the CAN, we, I think make a point to not affiliate ourselves or ever talk about anything political or even specific to national identity. It's really around Chinese ethnicity and the culture that comes with that, the heritage and the legacy of Chinese performing arts, and what that means for a community here in Nashville. I think, when CAN was founded decades ago, at this point, I think it was really something that was helpful for the local Chinese ethnic community, maybe immigrants that had come and were living in Nashville, a way for them to connect back to their culture. But that has since evolved greatly. I think now this is truly an organization and a series of events that the entire Nashville community gets to celebrate as part of the growing diverse, population that we have. And you get to see the multiple generations that are impacted by that. For example, me being a second generation, Taiwanese American, my son, who is mixed race, my husband being Nashvillian and Caucasian, he gets to experience Chinese culture and get to learn about half of his heritage as well. And so getting to really expose, the Chinese culture aside from really anything that has to do with politics or government or, or the different countries that, you would kind of see Chinese people coming from. It's really about what does the culture look and feel like, and how can we learn about the values that are, I think, embossed in those cultural activities and performances. So that's special for me.
You talked about values, and how are the customs, values, and traditions of Chinese culture and the Lunar New Year, how are they reflected here in Nashville and Middle Tennessee?
Well, definitely through the work of the Chinese Arts Alliance of Nashville. Being in Nashville, from a very young age, and then I left for a while, but then came back. It's been incredible to see how CAN's work has helped grow recognition of Chinese culture in Nashville. I think when I was younger, I knew there were Chinese people living in Nashville, but outside of interacting with people in CAN, you didn't really see a lot of that culture. But now I see with Nashville's population growing as well, I'm seeing Chinese culture in more areas that are not just isolated to events done by CAN. And I know that CAN has done a lot of really great work to help bring this information to the greater population of Nashville.
All right, Sherry, I've got just under a minute left. What do you want people to walk away with after they come to one of the events that CAN throws, and particularly after they come to the celebration on the 10th?
Well, come see us. And so as we get more of understand the culture, understand the differences, and be more aware of the differences. And then that's only through that effort, mutual understanding, and we can we can make our community less divisive, a more harmonious society and community by cultural exchange.
I want to thank you all so much. The Chinese Arts Alliance of Nashville, their New Year's celebration is at Musicians Corner in Centennial Park on February 10th. You can find out more at thechineseartsalliance.org. I want to thank my guests, Sherry Wong, Annabelle Chapman, and Ann Oppenheimer. Thank you all so much for being with us.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much for having us.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
And thanks to you for tuning in this hour. This is Nashville is a production of Nashville Public Radio. Today's episode was produced by myself, yours truly, Water Ox. It was directed by our senior producer, Tasha A.F. Lemley, who's a fire snake. Our board operator and technical director is Liv Lombardi, a metal horse, along with her twin. The masterminds behind our theme music are Laurent and Namir Blade. Don't know their signs. You can listen back at thisisnashville.org or wherever you get your podcasts. The conversation doesn't end here. Tweet us at This Is Nashville. Find us on Instagram and tell us what you want from our show by filling out our quick survey online. This is Nashville. I'm Khalil Ekalona. We'll see you Monday, everybody, and be good to each other.